Hello guys, in this video we'll learn how to create GraphQL APIs in Rust. Now if you're working on backend or full stack engineering, you might already have a fair idea of how GraphQL works. But for those who don't know, don't worry, I got you covered. So basically GraphQL enables declarative data fetching where a client can specify what data it needs. Let's say we have an API that returns list of products and each product has, let's say, around 30 properties. But the client that is calling it might just need couple or 3-4 properties, let's say name, price and image URL, or name, price, description, image URL. So all those other properties are basically a waste of resources on network and as well as resources on the machine that fetch and return all those data. So GraphQL helps us basically optimize this thing and return only the thing that is requested from the client, which is kind of not possible with REST if you are implementing API straightforward. So let's understand and try to create and implement API with GraphQL. So let's get started. First of all, we'll move to our cargo toml file, and here we'll add a few dependencies that we need, which is async GraphQL with the latest version. Then we need is async GraphQL Axiom with the latest version. Then we need Axiom with the latest version, and then we need for parsing Serde with the latest version. And the last thing that we'll need is Tokyo with version as latest and features as full for async programming. That's literally all that we need. Just load and build our project. Meanwhile, you can just like this video and share with your friends. And if you haven't subscribed, just subscribe. I create all the Rust videos on my YouTube channel along with other programming concepts as well. So let's go to our main.rs, and first of all in our project explorer we'll create 3 Rust modules. One is db.rs, another is user service.rs, and the last one that we have is query.rs or query engine.rs. So what we'll do is in db.rs, now here we need a db to connect to and fetch data from. So because our focus in this video is mainly on GraphQL, so I'll just use an in-memory vector as our db here. But if you want to implement a db, then I already have added a lot of videos on my channel to connect to different SQL and NoSQL database. But first of all, let's go ahead and create our main struct, basically our model. So we'll say pub struct user, pub id as id, and then the second thing we have is name, pub name as string, and pub email as string, pub phone as string, and pub address as string, pub city as string, and pub organization as string. And here on the top we'll just say derive clone. So that's our struct that we're dealing with today, the model. And let's go to our db. Now in our db, I'm not adding any fancy thing because our focus here is understanding GraphQL. So basically it's just an in-memory vector which will be serving as a database for our today's video. And if you want to do the same, you can just pause this video here, or in the comment you can just ask for the code. I'll drop the link of my GitHub. So as you can see, I've added just 5 records where we have user as Alice, Bob, Charlie, Diana and Evie. So basically with some data that we'll be using today. And in the user service, now let's go ahead and here, so for your model you have to must add these things, which is impl user when you are basically working with GraphQL. So object, and here we will say async fn id, and we'll pass and self and str, and here we'll say and self dot id. Similarly, you have to do for all the properties that we have. So we have second thing as, let's say, name, and then we have email, then we have is phone, and then we have, I guess, address, and after address we have city and organization, so two more. So this will be city, and the last one will be organization. Make sure your naming is correct and in the same way. So this is all that our service will hold for today, and the last thing that we need here is a query engine. So we'll just quickly say pub struct query, and we'll pass our db pub db, and here we'll say impl query, and put on our object as the attribute, and here we will add all the functionalities that we want to perform on our user. So let's say there was one get user by id, so we pass the self, id is string, and here we will return, let's say, option of user, and we can just say so here we can just say self dot db dot get data dot iter dot find, and here we'll just say and x dot id dot 0 is equals to id that is requested, clone. So we get our user, and similarly we will add get all users or get users, and here we'll say self, and we'll return a vector of user, and it's self.db.getData. That's all. Now if you want to perform more operations through GraphQL, you can add here, but I just want to do get user and get users. So get user will require an ID which will pass through the query, which we'll see when we test our application. That's literally all that you need. So nice and clean is our query engine, same our service, and same our DB. I'll attach the DB videos links here so you can follow a NoSQL or SQL database if you want to connect to one. Now let's complete our main and test our application. So here first of all we'll add a handler. So we'll say fn GraphQL handler. We pass the GraphQL request to it, and it returns a GraphQL response. As you can see, there is no JSON. We are just using GraphQL request and response objects, and then we create our query, and we pass db to it, and then we'll just say let schema is equals to schema new, and actually we have to fetch schema not from here but use async GraphQL schema, this one, and in the new we'll pass our query empty mutation and empty subscription, and then so this is what we are, our all the magic will appear, and we don't need to do anything. We don't need to select the fields and anything we have to do. We just pass the GraphQL request dot into inner dot await, and here we'll just say response dot into. So that's literally all that we need to do in our handler. We don't need to care what user has requested, what should be returning. And now let's go ahead and complete our web server. So this part is same to how we do it for creating REST APIs. Just spinning up Axiom web server. So we'll say let app router new route, and we'll say slash user, let's say, or slash GQL, let's say, and we just return post of here GraphQL handler, and we'll say let listener Tokyo net TCP listener bind, and you can add any address that you want to bind your application on. I'll just add port 3000 and await unwrap, and then we'll just say axiom serve listener app await unwrap. So that's literally all that we need to do. So this is our web server code, and this again is where all the magic happens. Like it basically selects based on the user query the data. Let's go ahead and run and test our application. Actually, let's add a print statement here just to know that application is up and running, listening, and now let's run it. So just open your terminal, and here we'll just do cargo run, and let's see. Okay, as you can see, it's listening. So go to your favorite API testing tool and let's test it. So here we'll in Insomnia just add a new GraphQL request, and here we'll say HTTP localhost port 3000 GQL, that's our endpoint, and in the GraphQL we'll just add our query, and you can name the query as anything. Let's say I want to name the query as dump, and then we pass, let's say, ID, and in the ID we have get user ID, and here we will again say ID, pass our ID, and let's say in the response I just need the user ID and name. Okay, so let's pass which user ID we want the result for. So in the variable, in the query variables, we can pass that. So I'll pass the ID as, let's say, 1. Now let's run this. As you can see, it returns me a response saying ID as 1 and name as Liz. Now let's say if I say ID 2 and Bob, and let's say if I only need name, then I can remove ID. As you can see, it only returns the name, and let's say name and phone and organization. These are the 3 things that I need. There you go. As you can see, it just returns name, phone, and organization. Similarly, if I do for ID 5, same. Now let's test the other one, which is our get basically all the users. So we'll just modify this part. We'll remove our variable, and in the dump we'll just remove no ID passed, no ID here, get users. That's literally the next query that we have. As you can see, it returns all of our users and just the name, phone, and organization. Okay, let's say I just want to return the email as well. There you go. As you can see, it returns name, phone, organization, and email, and the order is same as in the order you have asked. So basically that's super useful, right? Let's say you just want the names of the users, you get it. So it's as simple as this. That's it for this video, guys. I hope you guys understand this concept. If you do, share with your friends and like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.